Oh my god, yes, we need more information about Christina of Denmark. What a legend. So you might know Christina of Denmark as the Duchess of Milan, and she's the badass who rejected Henry VIII gloriously. So during the time period that he was looking for a new wife, between Jane Seymour and his marriage to Anne of Cleves, he proposed marriage to quite a few ladies and they all were like, nah. But none were as savage as Christina of Denmark, who quite literally replied to Henry VIII's proposal with, if I had two heads, one would be at the King of England's disposal. But despite this badass burn, who really was Christina of Denmark? So Christina was born a princess of Denmark and Norway, and she was born in either 1521 or 1522. She was the daughter of Isabella of Austria, which also made her the niece of the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. Christina was married twice, the first time being in 1533, which will have made her either 11 or 12. And this was to Francesco, the Duke of Milan, and it was by proxy, but she still went to live with him the next year, so again, only 12 or 13. Their marriage contract stated that if the Duke were to die without heirs, that Milan would become part of the Holy Roman Empire. And in 1535, Francesco did just that, leaving Christina a widow. And in mourning, she returned to the Low Countries. Being a young, unwed woman with many titles, of course, meant that she had quite a lot of marriage proposals. But for many reasons, none of them ever came to fruition. And some years later, Christina returned to Brussels, which was where Hans Holbein painted this famous portrait of her in 1538. So she'll have been either 16 or 17. Holbein had been sent by Henry VIII to paint this portrait because he was considering marriage, which was when she said her famous quote of, if I had two heads, one would be at the King of England's disposal, obviously referring to how he treated Anne Boleyn. Christina went on to marry the Duke of Bar in 1541, and reportedly she enjoyed a happy marriage. She gave birth to a son in 1543 and two daughters following that. But by 1545, she was widowed once again. She became regent for her young son, but did face some opposition from her brother-in-law, as women do in history. Men always thinking they can rule better than a woman, of course. But the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V mediated, and in the end, she and her brother-in-law shared the regency. Christina received many more proposals, but she never remarried, and she died in 1590.